is part 1 of the chapter areas related to circles. This is chapter 12 of standard 10th. Now before going for the main things, we will see some important formulae which are useful for this. So some are very basics, like the circumference of a circle is given by 2 pi r or pi d, where d is the diameter and r is the radius. Second is area of a circle given by pi r square or pi d square upon 4. Third is the circumference of a semicircle. Semicircle means it's just half of a circle and it is given by pi r. Then comes area of a semicircle. It is just half of the area of the full circle. It means it is pi r square by 2. The fifth one is quadrant of a circle. Quadrant means 1/4 part of a circle. So it is given by pi r square divided by 4 because it is 1/4. Then comes concentric circle. So what are concentric circles? Concentric circles are the circles having the same center. They can be 2, 4, 7, any number of circles. Only thing is the center is common. Now this is, if you see, this is the area enclosed. This is the area enclosed. This is the shaded area. This is the area enclosed by two concentric circles, and it is simply the difference of the areas of the bigger and the inner circle, bigger and smaller circle. So it is given by pi r square minus r square. Instead of finding square, there is another algebraic formula which we can use. We can write pi big R plus small r into big R minus small r. So this is that area enclosed by two concentric circles. Then we know the circumference of a wheel. So if the wheel takes one revolution, the distance covered by the wheel in one revolution is equal to the circumference of the wheel. This is important in having in solving problems where it is given a fixed distance is covered. So how many revolutions of the wheel have taken place? So there is a formula for this. The number of revolutions completed by a rotating wheel in 1 minute. It is simply the distance moved. It is the distance moved in 1 minute by that wheel divided by the circumference, because one circumference means one revolution means one circumference. So how many revolutions will simply be divided the distance by the circumference. Then we come to sector. So what is the sector? Sector is the area bounded by two radii and the circumference of the circle. So it is an arc. Now APB is an arc which makes an angle theta at the center. So the length of that arc means this length is given by theta upon 360 into 2 pi r. Now that arc is APB and the sector, concerned sector, is OAPB. So we will also find the area of that sector OAPB. So if an arc APB subtends an angle theta at the center, then the area of the sector is given by theta upon 360 into pi r square, where r is the radius of the circle. Now this is a minor sector. If you want to find the area of the major sector, it is given by the difference in the area of the circle minus the area of the minor sector. So that's it. So it can be written like this in formula form: pi r square minus area of the sector is minor sector is theta upon 360 into pi r square, or we can take pi r square as common. In the brackets we can write 1 minus theta upon 360. Then comes a concept called segment. Now what is a segment? Segment is the area bounded by an arc and the corresponding chord. So this is called the segment of a circle, this yellow shaded part. So how do we find the area of this segment? It is simply the difference in area between the sector OAPB minus area of this triangle. There is another formula also. We can write it as r square into pi theta upon 360 minus 1 upon 2 half sine theta square. So if you are comfortable with sine, easier to do with this one. Now since this is the minor segment, the major segment, the area of the major segment is simply given by the formula area of the circle minus the area of the minor segment. Now we come to clocks. In a clock you have a minute hand and an hour hand. So minute hand takes full 360 degrees, one full turn in 60 minutes. So how much area can be described, or what is the angle described by a minute hand in 1 minute? So it is 360 upon 60, it is 6 degrees. Similarly, an hour hand moves, and how much is that taken in 1 hour? In 1 hour it will move only from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3. So 360 degrees, it can move only 12 times. So 360 upon 12 means 30 degrees is the angle described by the hour hand in 1 hour. But if we want to find the angle described by the hour hand in 1 minute, then that 30 degrees we have to divide by 60. So because it is minutes, now it will come 0.5 degrees. Now the area of an equilateral triangle is sometimes required. It is given by the formula root 3 upon 4 into side square. Next is, when a circle is inscribed in a square, the diameter of the circle is equal to the side of the square. So we can see here x is the side of the square and the same is the diameter of the circle which is inscribed inside it. Both are same. Now when it's just the opposite, when a square is inscribed in a circle, then the diameter of the circle is given by root 2 into side of the square. So this is the diameter of the circle. This is also the diagonal of the square. So diagonal of a square is always given by root 2 into side. Now this diagonal of a square will become the diameter of the circle. Similarly, we can see for hexagon also. Hexagon is a 6-sided figure. It is a 6-sided figure. So whenever we are talking of a hexagon and a circle, please remember any hexagon inscribed inside a circle is always a regular hexagon. Means then all sides are equal and all internal angles of the hexagon are also equal. Now in the case where a hexagon is inscribed inside a circle, then if the side of the hexagon is given by x centimeters, now that x centimeters is also equal to the radius of the circle. It means whenever a hexagon is inscribed inside a circle, the side of the hexagon is equal to the radius of the circle. Now just the reverse case, when a circle is inscribed in a hexagon, what happens? Now if the hexagon is it is always again a regular hexagon. Suppose the hexagon has a side of x centimeters, then the radius of the circle is given by root 3 upon 2 into side. Means if x is the side of a hexagon, so it is given by root 3 upon 2 into x. So these are the various formulae which are useful for us for solving some sums. Now we will be starting solving some sums. So these are problems related to circles and revolutions. So the first one is this: find the area of a quadrant of a circle whose circumference is 22 centimeters. Now if you see, the radius has not been given. So the first thing is, we'll have to write the circumference is given by 22 centimeters. It is given by 2 pi r. Now from this we can calculate. So 22 is equal to 2 into 22 by 7 into r. We can just cancel out this r and r. 22 and 22. So r is equal to 7 upon 2, means it is 3.5 centimeters. After getting the radius, we can find the area of the quadrant. So area of the quadrant will be given by pi r square divided by 4, because it is a quadrant. So 4 will come in the denominator. So we can start like this: 7 ones are 7.5s are, then 2 2s are 2 11s are. So it comes 11 into 0.5 into 3.5 upon 2. So when we simplify this, we are getting 11 into 0.5 means it is nothing but 5.5 into 3.5 upon 2. So the final answer which we are getting is 9.625 centimeters square. So we will say the area of the quadrant is 9.625 centimeters square. Going for the next sum, if the perimeter of a semicircular protractor, now this is a protractor, if we see, it is just a protractor which you have in a geometrical box. The perimeter is given to us as 108 centimeters. We have to find the diameter of the protractor. So perimeter is given as 108 centimeters. Now let r be the radius of the protractor. So if r is the radius, this is the radius, then we can say perimeter is nothing but it is the perimeter of the or the circumference of the semicircle plus the diameter. So it is an this plus this. So if we start writing this in terms of formulae, so perimeter of semicircle we know is simply pi r, and the diameter we can write as 2r. So this becomes 108 is equal to r into pi plus 2. So 108 is equal to r into pi is 22 by 7 plus 2. So this is 108 is equal to r into this is 22 and cross multiply 7 2s are 14, so it will become 36 upon 7. So therefore when we transpose, it becomes 108 into 7 upon 36. 36 ones are 36 3s are, so the radius is 21 centimeter. Now since diameter has been asked, we will just double the radius, so this becomes 42 centimeters. So this is how we do the second sum. So the final answer is diameter is 42 centimeters. Then the third sum, two circles touch externally, so they are touching externally. The sum of their areas is 130 pi centimeter square, and the distance between their centers is 14 centimeters. This radius plus this radius is given to us 14 centimeters. We have to find the separate radii of both the circles. So how do we do this? So we will say let the radii of the circles be r1 and r2. So what do we get? So we get two statements. First is r1 plus r2 means the distance between the centers is given as 14 centimeters. This is statement 1. Then the sum of the areas, it means pi r1 square plus pi r2 square is given as 130 pi. So what we will do is we will take pi as common. So this becomes r1 square plus r2 square is equal to 130 pi. So pi and pi will get cancelled. We will get r1 square plus r2 square is equal to 130. So this we can take as statement number 2. So we take this statement number 1, r1 plus r2 is equal to 14. So squaring both the sides, what we will get? So this is nothing but a plus b the whole square. So this is written as r1 plus r2 the whole square is equal to 14 square. So this is r1 square plus r2 square plus 2 r1 r2 is equal to 196. Now if we see r1 square plus r2 square, this is given to us as 130. So instead of this we can write 130 plus 2 r1 r2 is equal to 196. This is because r1 square plus r2 square is equal to 130. So 2 r1 r2 is 196 minus 130. 2 r1 r2 is equal to 66. So r1 r2 is equal to 33. So we are getting r1 r2 is equal to 33 centimeters. So now this I will write as 3. Now if you see very carefully, we have r1 plus r2 is equal to 14 centimeters and we have r1 r2 as 33 centimeters. This is just like splitting the middle term. If the product is 33 and the sum is 14, the only option available to us is 11 3s are 33 centimeters. So r1 I will take as 11 centimeters, the bigger circle, and r2 I will take as 3 centimeters. So we will say the radii of the circles are 11 centimeter and 3 centimeter. So this is how we do the sums. Thank you.